Welcome to the mysterious domain. Hello, my name is Arlene White Swan. Welcome to the mysterious domain. I thought I'd like to tell you a story about the Tue de Danann, who instructed me in the making of the tarot of the Tue de Danann. There is an esoteric tradition that talks about the battle of the angels in heaven. Lucifer was the most beautiful angel, and he thought he was such hot stuff that he should be above God. And Archangel Michael took exception to that, and there was a war in heaven. Legions of Michael defeated the legions of Lucifer and threw them out of heaven. And Lucifer and the angels fell to earth. And as they fell, some of the angels who were neutral, well, you know, God doesn't like you to be lukewarm. So those guys got thrown out as well, but they didn't really want to go all the way. So they ended up staying close to the earth plane while Lucifer and his minions fell deep into the center of the earth. And as Lucifer fell, an emerald from his crown fell out. And this is the emerald stone that some call the philosopher's stone, or the emerald tablet is supposedly, I think, written on this. And in this tarot of the Tue de Danann, the keepers of the emerald stone are in the pentacle suit. And you know, the neutral angels became the Faeries. I would say that the Faeries that most of us think of have to do with the functions on the fertility and the maintenance of nature. They're in the flowers, they're in the trees, they're in the grass, they're in, you know, they're in the water, they're in the elements. They are the elementals of the earth. And to me, these have nothing to do with those fallen angels. But beings like the Tue de Danann are human-sized. And I think they do have something to do with those neutral angels that were thrown out of heaven with Lucifer. Their very neutrality becomes an issue in the sense that if your intentions in communicating with them are good and benign, like you're curious, you want to learn from them, you want to understand the different dimensions that are close to this planet, you want to share in otherworldly knowledge and experience. They're beautiful. They will grant you an experience of incredible beauty and power and grace. But if your intentions are evil and you're looking for power, power over other people, or your intentions are selfish, unfortunately, you can turn them. And this is the battle I think we find ourselves in sometimes now, because the misuse of not only the elemental beings, but also these neutral angels has caused the same kind of division in the other world that we're experiencing in the human world. I really feel we have a responsibility to help them, because they don't, I suppose they don't have souls. I suppose that's really what it is. They don't have souls. So they're not, maybe they don't have the redemption, but they are, for me, in my experiences, they've been friends. And so I really feel that when evil wants to take over, it takes over everything. I think part of the reason this tarot deck of mine, the theholygrail tarot, is called for at this time is because it does deal with this issue, this dark and light and this war of good and evil. And it also deals with the wasteland. And the wasteland is created when the wicked take over and the land dies, the waters dry up, the animals disappear, the Grail is withdrawn. I think the Grail has been withdrawn. It's up to us to call it back. And it's a quest. And it's not, the Holy Grail was a Chrétien de Troyes. He never finished it. He died before he finished it. And so because the quest of the Saint Grail never was completed by the author, it's left it open to interpretation by everyone who was interested in it. I mean, it's been put to all kinds of uses, you could say. But for me, there's a lot about the healing of the wasteland and how we restore that in the inner life. Because this is also the land of the imagination. This is also where these neutral angels, the theholygrail, these beings speak to us, is in our inner life. If we would return to the center, to develop our inner life, or to honor it, that would go a long way to restoring balance on the earth. That's just my opinion. If you don't agree, please leave a comment. I mean, I'm up for discussion. So, this is a deep topic. This is a very strong and deep and rich topic. And I'm up for a discussion. You want to like and share and subscribe too, that would be cool. But really, don't be afraid to challenge me. Don't be afraid to argue, because, we're all here to learn, and we're all here to understand the world that we're in. The angels that fell with Lucifer into the center of the earth are the demons. They're the embodiment of Lucifer's hatred for God's creation, and therefore are twisted and ugly, and their realm is called hell. Since the fall of Lucifer, the battle between the fallen angels and the divine angels has been waging all this time. Lucifer, in his mania to usurp the throne of God, uses human beings and the energy of human beings as fuel that is meant to rocket him. And that takes me into another tangent about rockets and the devil, but but the energy of human beings is used to fuel his ascendance into the celestial realm with the intention of bursting through heaven's gate, or the barrier between heaven and earth that is heavily guarded by archangels. He thinks with enough destruction on the earth plane, with enough energy, by stealing enough power, that he will be able to do this and to ascend above the throne of God. Well, that's never going to happen. It can't happen, because it's God created Lucifer. I mean, there's no higher source you can go to. And you know, the archangels that work for God are fueled by God. And it's the whole thing is absurd, but this is where all the lies and deceptions and all these things happen with the Luciferian consciousness on earth. And, you know, I mean, I'm not a PhD in this subject. I'm just speaking from my own spiritual experience and my explorations into the different realms, particularly the fairy realm. And the thing is that, you know, as the Arthurian legend talks about, the especially the Holy Grail legend, about the causes of the wasteland. Well, one of the main causes of the wasteland is this incessant war between the archangels and the fallen angels, between Michael the archangel and Lucifer, in which humanity, the fairies, all the creatures on earth, all of God's creation here on earth is kind of caught in between. And so we are getting it from both sides, and depending on where we align determines our own fate, to be honest. In the Grail legend, of course, there's many causes of the wasteland. There's the stealing of the sacred spear of Longinus, and also the Celtic god Lu. They're one and the same, because there are these echoes that happen in the Grail myth. Kind of the way there are echoes between the Old Testament and the New Testament. There are echoes between Christianity and paganism in the Arthurian material. So when the spear, the sacred spear, is used in a murder, that causes the wasteland. When King Amangons and his men arrive and slaughter the priestesses of the wells, who are there to assist humanity, that's a cause of the wasteland. It has a lot to do with the abuse of power, causes the wasteland. And we can see around us today how the abuse of power threatens our world and threatens to create a wasteland. And I would say energetically, and this is something I've come to myself just through my own inner experience, is that in 2012, the Grail was withdrawn. And that's why things feel so different, and why things have kind of socially deteriorated to the degree that they have. It has a lot to do with the withdrawal of the Grail, which happens when humanity desires separation from God. I can only put it that way. But we can bring it back. That's what the Grail legend is about. The quest for the Holy Grail is about how do we bring the Holy Grail back and heal the wasteland, which is basically us. So I think that this tarot deck is really relevant, and I show in the tarot deck the especially in the Pentacles, the emerald stone, and that's the emerald stone of Lucifer. In the Pentacle suit, which is basically inspired by the great medieval poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is a fascinating I'm on so many levels, and I'll do another video and explain all that. It's time, I guess, for these ideas to be popular again. Maybe every 20 years or so, the Arthurian legend is popular, and then it goes away, and then it's popular again, and maybe each generation has to become acquainted with it. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this little talk, please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully you'll come back. Thank you for watching. If you come this far, double thank you. Okay, goodbye.